we have a two-party system in America.
Uh-huh.
When you look at New Zealand, they have something completely different. They have the Maori Party, which we saw this haka. Remember all that? And all those parliament members were like doing the haka in the middle, and then they got kicked out, and there was a big uprising, and
Mm-hmm.
all the Maori Party people got on the streets. That's exciting. We would never see that here in Hawaii because we have Democrats and Republican, and there's no room for anything else. Whenever we try to do a new party, like a Aloha party,
Mm-hmm.
people just laugh and push us out. And that's because we're based on the American system. But the American system was never set up to be a two-party system. It just kind of happened that way by mistake. Like originally, there was all these parties, right? The Whigs and Republicans, Democrats, and like this was just a bunch of different ones. And that's how the founders actually wanted it. But because of the way they set it up, where it's like the first past the post, like whoever gets the most votes automatically gets in, everybody else gets nothing. Then you kind of have to choose. Like it just the end result was going to be two parties, no matter what. So that leaves like little room for any other kind of voices. And you mentioned earlier, like can someone like me who is seen on the left, and someone like Brenton who's like seen more on the right, can we work together? It's very hard in the two-party system, right? But let's say like there was like a Labor Party and an Environmental Party and a Kanaka Maoli Party and like all these different forces like you might see in New Zealand. Then yeah, I can partner with Brenton when he talks about foreign home ownership or water rights, but then I can partner with the liberals when they talk about like supporting Mahu rights, for example, which I support. And we don't always have to be like aligned beforehand. We can just choose. And I think that way people actually are going to be more civil. They have more like, they're not jaded by the whole system. Like both parties are corrupt. You're going to have a home politically. And I think we should figure out how to create more like reconstitute the structure of politics here in Hawaii.
It kind of sounds like an ahupua'a,
Yeah.
where everybody had their roles. You got the farmers, you got the fishermen, and if, you don't need to like fishing, but you still work with them, right? You trade kalo, you trade fish. I feel like that sounds amazing to me, right? Where it's just like, hey, I don't really care about all these 5 issues, but I really love this one issue that you stand by. Let's work together on that.
That's right. And it's not like
Yeah.
the Fisher folk had all the power. It's a hegemonic power. Like they had to rely on other folks.
Mm-hmm.
And in those kinds of systems, it's not just like, okay, the Republicans are in power now, the Democrats are in power now. It's like, no, if you want to hit the majority, you got to build a coalition with other groups.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole different approach of how to look at politics. And I think there's opportunities for that.
Mm-hmm. How do we get to that though? Because I feel like it's so divided. The divisiveness, it just keeps growing. Every time we think it's
know.
getting better, it's just the gap grows bigger and bigger.
Yeah, well, a couple of things. First, I think we got to understand like the forces that are against us, but also like how people even understand each other. So there's this like left and right divide in America, and I think people just fundamentally don't know what left and right even is. Like if I go on the street and I'm like, hey, do you consider yourself left or right? I go, oh, I'm right wing. I vote a Republican. It's like, oh, so you support a maximum wage. Oh, you support like cracking down on Wall Street. Oh, you support like public ownership of our streams. They're like, yeah. I'm like, those are all left wing stances. Like, you know what I mean? But we think left and right is a matter of party. It's not. It's a matter of ideology.
Uh-huh.
So like on the right, it's about like preserving tradition. There's wisdom in our ancestors. We got to protect what we have. On the left is like the system is bad. We got to change it. Progress is good. Like if we try to stay stagnant, we will die. And people need more equal rights. Corporations have too much power, and the only way to do that is like for government to fight it. The right's going to say, yeah, but government is bad. And then like I think both can agree that yeah, government's bad because it's been corrupted by these corporations and big money people. But like that's what left and right is, right? It's like progress and tradition.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Hawaiian, how do you make sense of that? Because me, I deeply believe in tradition. I believe there's knowledge in our ancestors. Our blood is in this land. Like I will die for this land. That's hella right wing. But I also believe that our water should not be monopolized by one corporation. And if it is, the government should get involved and break it up, and they should represent the people. And that's very much left wing. So like when we have to choose, we lose. And I think our way of understanding the world, it incorporates a little bit of both sides.
Yeah, it seems like we're just constantly being put in this position of the lesser of two evils,
Yeah,
right? It's like, especially with the presidency, it's like, okay, do I want this and all their flaws, or this person and all their flaws? What? And then you kind of just choose. I mean, it's like, for me, I like to be in the middle, and for different times of the year or whatever thing is going on, I got a toe in the right, I got a pinky toe in the left, depending what it is, because I just feel like the bipartisan system it doesn't work. Like it's
doesn't
just
work.
it's too divisive. And if we could just have like, I don't know, a neutral party and just be like, okay, I support these issues on the left, I support these issues on the right. Or it doesn't even have to be a left or right issue, right? It's just like, I support this, I don't support this.
Yeah, and here's why.
Yeah.
And lots of times when I explain to progressives why, like when you try to use the left wing messaging, like, oh, there's progress is good. It's like, has progress been good for us? Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
doesn't always work. But when you use like the right wing messaging of like, then it works for. It's just a weird thing. But also like moderation isn't that great either.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you do compromise in the American system, you end up with the stuff like the Affordable Care Act, like Obamacare, where it's like forcing everyone into insurance, and then like you give public tax dollars to insurance companies. Like no one likes that.
Mm-hmm.
Just if you're going to give money to people for insurance, give it directly to the people, or just give them insurance. It'll be cheaper, and you don't got to do all the middlemen trying to figure out who needs it more. Just like make it universal. That'll save a lot of money. But like the compromise makes it bad. Like it probably. I hate to say this, but it might even be better if you just privatized it all the way,
Mm-hmm.
or made it like most countries where just direct payments. But when you like the compromise actually makes it a really shitty policy, a bad policy. So yeah, it's like how do you lead with like some intelligence and a new way of doing things? At the turn of the century, like a lot of people know the story of Kuhio,
Mm-hmm.
but I think not enough people know the story of Robert Wilcox,
Mm-hmm.
right? Vilikoki. And this guy, like me, he was elected very young, like 23 on Maui. Everyone was against him. The Pacific Advertiser at the time, which turned into Star Advertiser, was very much against him. They supported the annexation. They were very much a paper for the white folks that were against Lilo Kalani and Kalakaua. But they like did this propaganda campaign against him, and he wasn't supposed to win. But he ran as a third party, the Home Rule Party, Home Rule, and it was more based on like nationhood for Hawaiians, and he shocked everyone. Like he won, and he won by a lot.
Mm.
And it's like the Democrats and Republicans were like, "Wait, what?" And I was thinking back to like 2012. I'm like, I bet you if I ran as a third party, I could have won just because it was a red district. I was running blue, and I had like a different message. And I was young, and I was just maniacal, knocking on doors. And I'm like, what if we did that now? Like what if some folks just kind of shook the cage a little?
Yeah, maybe the only person that can save us is BJ Penn.
Come
BJ Penn.
on, bro.
BJ. I'm a Hilo boy. It's just it's innate. I'm sorry. But
My God.
yeah, I mean, it's a question that's gonna come up in the social media questions, anyways. But
No,
like, are you? Do you plan to run for politics?
Oh no,
again?
I don't think I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like it's me or one individual. I think like there needs to be some kind of disruption. Hopefully, someone young, no baggage, kind of thing. But even beyond that, it's like how do you create a structure where it's not like you don't need like some psycho to like knock on doors for 8 hours a day to win, and like not care about any rich
Mhm.
folks coming after them or their reputation. Like that's hard, and you can't expect that. There is a con, right? You ever heard of a constitutional convention?
No, I know Comic-Con.
Okay. If you like Comic-Con, you might hate the con, but it's still interesting. So every 10 years in Hawaii, there's a chance to reconstitute everything, to change the constitution. The last time we did that was 1978, and it's when we created Aloha. We created like the laws that say you can't like own beaches and you have public access, and Richardson, stuff like that all happened then. It's really exciting. And it was like a crop of like young folks. Like John Waihee was 32 years old.
Oh, wow.
Leslie Hara, who's in the Senate, was 27. Like a lot of these people that didn't really have big political careers, but it served as a launch pad. But yeah, every 10 years it's on the ballot. So the next one is going to be 2028, and it's going to be a 50-year anniversary of 1978. And recently, it's like 88, 98, the last four, we haven't done it. And for good reason. I think like KS, OHA's like, hey, let's not reopen Pandora's box. We're good. But like, I think a lot of people think we have more to gain than lose at this point
Hmm.
on the government level. And also, like, there hasn't been actually any organizing behind it. Like, what if while we tried to gain support for the con vote, because it goes to the ballot and the
Hmm.
people have to vote if they want a con or not. But like, what if while we're doing that, we're like organizing delegates, like 102 people to run, and there's guardrails. Like, if you want to run with our group, you gotta support KS, you
Hmm.
gotta support OHA, and like these laws you got for Hawaiian rights, whatever. Um, and then like, you know, there are people that people like in the community. So like while you're doing the ballot, it's like here, this is who's going to be on the con. Here's who's going to run. So I just don't think that's been tried. So it's always been
Hmm.
like fear, like we can't reopen it. But it's been 50 years. It's just like it's been generations.
You should do it.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be me. It's gotta be like everyone on board.
What does con stand for?
So a constitutional convention is where you
Oh.
elect a bunch of delegates and you basically rewrite the constitution
And is this nationally or just in
in
Hawaii?
the state.
In
In the state. Nationally, there might be one in like 2040,
Oh,
but
okay.
when you rewrite a constitution, it means that like you can change the way like the voting works, the two-party system
Mhm.
works, make third parties more viable. Like it's everything. It's not just like, oh, we created OHA. You can also change the structures. You can have like ranked choice voting where you can like pick like your favorites and rank them rather than just like one, like the worst of two evils. You can like
Oh,
there's a bunch of
that's cool. I like that.
there's a bunch of different options that you could pursue, but it would have to be done at that level, the constitutional level.